How do I begin healing from a traumatic heartbreak knowing I contributed to the damage?
Lance, have you ever had your heart broken? Moving on to different chapters, it feels like a loss, but it is beginning. It's the start of a beautiful journey. And sometimes you needed that chaos in this chapter just to make the story of your life a little bit more interesting.
This woman walked up to the mic thinking she needed help getting over a man. She was the one who ended it, there were kids involved, but she can't quite figure out why she still feels broken, even though she made the right choice to leave. But the panel doesn't just answer the question she asked, they actually go deeper into it and go underneath it. And by the end, they've traced the whole thing back to something that has nothing to actually do with him at all.
This video was made for strictly artistic and comedic reasons only. No harm or offense is intended upon anyone featured or shown in this video.
What's your question?
Hello, my name is Chelsea. Y'all kind of answered my question, but I'll go ahead. How do I begin healing, maybe some tools from a traumatic heartbreak, knowing I contributed to the damage and I no longer feel grounded within myself anymore?
Before we get started, Lance, have you ever had your heart broken?
I absolutely have, yes. Yes,
No.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
So first, before we go, what's your best advice on getting over a heartbreak?
Somebody else. No, but
I said, find somebody new.
It's real though. It's real. But first you gotta forgive yourself. You gotta forgive that partner, and you gotta move on. Because life is short, and there's so many other fish in the sea. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I got over it. It took me a while to forgive her, but I forgave my part in it. I forgave her, and I moved on with somebody else, and now I am so happy.
Can I ask you a question? Is there a distinction between a traumatic heartbreak and a regular one?
Ooh.
No.
I think the distinction, hold on, I think one of the distinction is who chose to break up. Because if I chose to break up, it's a little easier to heal from. But if you broke up with me, that's dramatic. Especially when you still, was you the broke upper or the broke uppee?
I broke up.
You broke up, okay.
What did you learn? What did you learn about yourself?
I learned that I have some insecurities to work on because I poured so much into him. I made him an idol.
Good. That's very powerful. So why are you traumatized if you got... Some people live to be my age and don't get that.
That's a good question, yeah.
Why is that traumatizing?
I think going back to the root, we were both very broken. It was broken for both of us, but children involved. It was real.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Uncross your legs for me. Uncross your legs. Are you ashamed of the way you behaved in that relationship?
Yes.
Take a breath. Yeah. That's the trauma. That's the trauma. Ain't got nothing to do with him. So just like the brother said, go back and look at all of those things and forgive each one of them. That's how you're going to neutralize that trauma. It ain't about him. It's the shame of how you behaved. You know, and for each one of those shameful behaviors, get clear about what were you going for. I did this because I thought, you know, was it people pleasing? Was it validation? Was it whatever it was? Because it's the sacrifice of your dignity. You sacrificed your dignity. But baby, get them lessons so you can reclaim your majesty.
All right, so we really need to watch this because this is where it stops being about the breakup. A panelist asks her to uncross her legs, take a deep breath, and just answer one question. Is she ashamed of how she behaved? And the second she says yes, she tells her that right there, that's the trauma. Not him, not the relationship. The shame that she's feeling inside was the shame because of who she became.
Her Majesty.
Hey, man. I would say, bro, just accepting the fact that, like, you are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the sum of what you learn from said mistakes. And I think a lot of us, like, we get to beating ourselves up because we all done been there. We all done been in a relationship and we didn't move how we were supposed to move. But it's about learning where I went wrong, learning how I can improve so I don't repeat the same mistakes. Now, if you're going from situation to situation, repeating the same mistakes, then we got some real look in that mirror type work to do. You understand what I'm saying? But if you figuring out, like pinpointing to the T, okay, this is where I went wrong, I can't do this no more, this is what I got to improve on, then going forward, you're gonna be good to go. But don't reduce yourself to the mistakes of that relationship. Again, sometimes we just not in the season for a relationship. We not. And we may think we are because we like this person so much. We thinking, damn, I am ready. We not. We not. And that's perfectly okay. But again, like I said, learn from it and do not repeat the same mistakes and you're gonna be on the right path.
Stupid is seasonal. It is stupid is seasonal. It comes and it goes.
Hey, can I add this to you? Because I super relate. Because sometimes, I mean, the deepest pain I've ever experienced in my life is knowing I broke another person's heart and there's nothing I can do to fix it. I can't talk to this person no more. I can't see it. And even though I may grow into a different person that now I'm proud of, that's healed, that would never do another woman like that, in my head, I may always think the person I still love secretly views me still in that previous light. And there's nothing I can do. But here's the thing, this is what I'm trying to say. This is why it's so important for us to be in tune with our star player, which is us. We gotta love the different versions we turn into because we have all made mistakes, but those mistakes make you who you are right now. And it sucks. It sucks, right? Because along the way, some of us can look back and look at the trail of hearts that we left. And we think about going back and fixing that. But listen, this is the part about it. It's that person's responsibility to heal themselves. Even though, and just like if you was on the opposite end and somebody messed you over and you want them to come and apologize and make it right, they ain't gonna do that. So it's your responsibility to heal yourself. I guess the stick to landing the point is moving on to different chapters. It feels like a loss, but it is a beginning. It's the start of a beautiful journey. And sometimes you needed that chaos in this chapter just to make the story of your life a little bit more interesting. And when you turn 60, 70, 80, you're going to look back. I'm not right. You're going to look back and you're going to be like, had it not been for this, I wouldn't have got this, that, and this. All right.
One of the panelists tells her that she's not the sum of her mistakes, she's the sum of what she learns from them, and that the only real problem is repeating those same mistakes. Then another panelist opens up and says the deepest pain he's ever felt is knowing he broke someone's heart and he can never take it back, and that he'll always wonder if they still see him as that old version of himself. And this is where the shift happens, because she's not on trial anymore. She's standing in a room full of people admitting they've done the exact same thing she's ashamed of. But then they land the hardest truth of the night. It's not your job to go back and fix them. It's your job to heal yourself, because the person who hurt you was never coming to fix you either.
So I appreciate you. Anybody else with
Yeah, I just wanted to offer that you actually start, if you're not already, seeing a therapist regularly, because shame is something that doesn't come from the relationship you just exited. Shame comes from childhood trauma. And I would not want you to get into the next relationship and the next relationship and the next relationship saying that you've had the same relationship with just different vessels and different people, because you've carried your shame and your trauma that was childhood. The little girl in you shows up in those relationships where relationships are for grown folks. So I want you to get the help so that you can start, the woman in you, the healed in you, can start to choose your partner, okay? And you can calibrate someone who's a reflection of you, which will be a reflection of your healed self, so y'all can have a healing bond and not a trauma bond.
Hey, this is not about you, this is about to the room. Some of the most up shit I've ever done in a relationship was after I knew I should have left that motherfucker. Like, there is a point in time where you know your feelings don't feel the same, that person ain't motivating you, you sleeping next to him, but you feel like it's a stranger, and you trying to make it work, but in your heart you know it ain't.
Yes.
And then it's because your bonds start unbonding, that connection is no longer there, that care, that respect ain't there. then you start doing things that now you look back when you leave that relationship and you regret.
Question,
And
Ace.
so, go ahead.
I was gonna say, because there's probably a lot of people wondering, why not just leave instead of committing that terrible? If I know I'm done,
Because
I know I'm
but
over it.
So here's the thing.
why drag them through the mud instead of just walk out the door?
Because here's the thing. Some of us feel like we can't leave relationship amicably. Sometimes we feel like we gotta tear that to the ground to where we know for a fact we can't go back. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't. And then here's the thing. For a lot of guys want to over so much you leave. Like, cause so to the room. If you are at that space, really be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Because are you gonna like the person you have to become to stay in a relationship that's no longer serving you?
And Ace kept it real at the end because he said the worst thing he ever did was staying in a relationship he knew he already should have left. And when someone asks why people don't just walk away, his answer is simple. Sometimes you burn it down so you know you just can't go back. And then he leaves the room with one question. Are you going to like the person you became if you stay? And if the answer is no, you already know what to do. If you guys enjoyed watching, make sure to check out these other videos on the left and right, and also make sure to like and subscribe. We're currently on a goal to reach 500 subscribers, and it would mean a lot to us if you could just help us get there. Honestly, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.